Hello guys, my name is Philip, and today's topic is going to be something that might not concern all of you guys, but it's a message that I'm quite passionate about getting across because of my past, and I want to share it with you guys. So basically what I'm going to be talking about is you don't have to be a loser, I guess, just because you don't have many friends. What I mean by that is you don't have to just sit inside and play video games and hide from the outside world just because you don't have that many friends, just because you're kind of lonely. Now, this this is something that I can relate to because of how I sort of just shut myself away from the outside world, really, back in secondary school, because I didn't have many friends. I never got invited to parties. I was kind of scared of the cool kids, you know what I mean? Like, I was one of the losers. And yes, I did have friends. It wasn't that bad, but I didn't really hang out that much. And what really happened was, because of that, I just hid away, and I just did things in my own house, just sitting inside, watching TV, playing video games, just sort of wasting my life away. When I could have done cool shit. I could have, I don't know, went bowling on my own, went to an amusement park on my own. I could have done all these things on my own, but I just didn't see the opportunity, because for some reason I just had this idea that you had to do these things with friends, with someone. You had to do it with someone. If you want to go to the movies, you have to go with someone. If you want to go to a cafe or a restaurant, you have to go with someone. If you want to go bowling, you have to do it with someone. Which isn't necessarily true, and this also this also is the case with what I did just recently. Just went to a music festival all on my own. Why the hell not? It's great to do that. And back also, I remember I had this fear that if I would do something on my own, in a place where people did things together, like places where people were together with their friends, recreational facilities, that's what they call them in English. If I would be alone at these places, I would I actually never was alone at these places, because I never did that. But I thought that if I would be alone at these places, I would be sort of ashamed, or like it would be really awkward. It would be really embarrassing for me to be there alone, because everyone else would think that I didn't have any friends, and they would ridicule me or something. That's what I thought. Like, I thought that people would look at me weird because I was there with no friends. And now this is absolutely not the case. I've actually noticed. I talked about this in, I think it was 72 Confidence Boosters Everywhere. That video, I mentioned that I told one of my colleagues that I was just going to restaurants alone. I was just where else did I go? Yeah, I just went to a beach alone as well. Just went there on my own. Why not? And she actually told me that she thought I was really cool. Like, she told me that it's really cool that I just did these things on my own. She told me that she would never dare do that, because she would think that she actually said the same thing that I used to think back in secondary school, that it would be embarrassing. People would look at her weird. People would think that she was kind of a retard or something, for being in these like recreational social facilities on her own. And and I just said, well, why? Why do you feel that way? Like, it didn't make sense to me. And the weird thing is, for me, back in secondary school, that would make total sense to me. I would completely relate to that. Um, but now it's just completely different. I can do things on my own, and I don't mind. I don't mind if people look at me weird, and if people think, what is that doing? People like, what is that person doing on a freaking like a bowling alley alone? Like, the fuck. I wouldn't mind now. So that's sort of fear of doing fun things alone is just gone. And I also went to this music festival, which was kind of a crazy thing to do, and man, it was awesome being there on my own. I mean, it was so strange because it was so much easier to get in contact with strangers, because you sort of just went into this state where you were suddenly friends with everyone there, because you didn't have any other friends, right? You didn't have any friends there because you were there on your own. That means you were friends with everyone there, sort of. And I know it sounds weird, but it something happens in your mind where you always have friends. Like, I know it's gonna sound weird, but at least in my brain, it's kind of like that. It's my brain always thinks that, I have friends nearby. So it's just a question of who I know the best. Now, when you're in a place where you don't know anyone at all the strangers are your friends. It's weird, and I describe that kind of poorly, but I hope you sort of understand what I mean. And that was the feeling I got at that festival, and it was very special. It was very special. It was like being on another planet. It was like having a different life, actually, for 3 days. Just being a different person, having a different life, literally. Yeah, it was very special, and I'm glad I did it. So, yeah, the conclusion of this video is really just, if you don't have many friends, or if your friends are just busy all the time, which is kind of my case now, because all my friends are chefs, and they work 12 hours a day, just do cool shit alone. Just do it on your own. It's still kind of fun to do it, even though you don't have any friends there. It's still kind of cool to do things. It's still kind of cool to go to concerts, even though you're on your own. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's not fun. And also, it's just a better way to live, I think. You get really miserable if you just sit in front of the computer your whole life. And I used to do that back in secondary school, and I was in complete denial that I was actually fucking myself up mentally, because I was getting more and more depressed the more I just played video games, the more I just sat inside, and I just kept doing it, because I was in denial that that was the problem, that was the source of my my depression, my sadness. I thought it was just other things. I just thought, well, it was this sort of external hate that I had. I just hated other people. I just hated the school, and I just sort of blamed everything else. I blamed the fact that school sucked. I just blamed the people in school. I blamed the teacher. I blamed my parents, and then I was in complete denial. That was my own lifestyle. Actually, the things that I chose to do was destroying me. Watching pornography, playing video games, watching brain dead television all the time, not being outside as much as I should, eating really bad, just eating a lot of like buns and drinking a shitload of soda. Those were all things that I chose to do myself, and those were actually the things that destroyed me the most. So you need to get out, even though you don't have friends. Just get out. and it helped me. It helped me greatly. I feel much more happier now. And I know it might be hard in the beginning because you might have like social anxiety or something, but just try and do just like baby steps first. Just go shopping on your own, or I don't know. You don't have to go to a different country on a fucking music festival. Just start it all off. I'm just saying, like, just do something that's different than playing video games. Do it on your own if you don't have any friends. So that's the message of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.